measurement and a scan of that. It also scans the front curve of your eye, and then it also takes into account your pupil size. What happens with at night when your pupils get bigger, lets more light in and a lot more aberration. So Zeiss has designed a machine to let us cut back on all that glare and all those aberrations that are coming in. What we do is we still have the normal exam. We come up with a prescription that you like. We put that into the computer, and the Zeiss machine calculates an i.Scription, which you can only fill through Zeiss Labs and at the Lange Eye Care locations. It gets a very accurate prescription down to the 100th diopter, which is, in normal prescriptions, it's only quarter diopters. So we're getting down to the 100th of a diopter of accuracy in your prescription. So if you want the clearest, crispest vision, come see us at the Clearwater location for your personalized i.Scription.
i.Scription only at the Lange Eye Care location. That's the Lange Eye Care Optical Gallery and LASIK Center in Clearwater. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors this morning. It's Dr. Michael Lang, as well as my guest, Dr. Cathy Dow, both of Lange Eye Care and Associates. If you got a question, give us a call, 1-866-977-4820. We're going to go to the first call of the morning. Let's see. Maggie, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, doctor. How's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. How are you? Staying warm this morning, I hope.
Exactly. I had a question. I was being wanting to have some blood work because I've been kind of, I felt that my hormones were kind of going out of whack. And my results that they gave me were that my estrogen is really high and my testosterone is really low. And they said it was supposed to be the opposite. Now, my question to you is, how do I balance that?
Wow, that's a great question. It's not really my area of expertise, although I do deal with a lot of bodybuilders, a lot of professional bodybuilders, and men especially going through what we call male menopause, where they have low testosterone and elevated estrogen, and they have to get on testosterone supplementation and sometimes some drugs that actually bring the estrogen down. And sometimes there's actually an extract made by broccoli that can bring down the estrogen as well. You're going to have to get in touch with a physician that is really in tune with that. And there's not that many out there, quite frankly, that are in tune with that whole hormonal imbalance with testosterone and estrogen. So you got to really find out who is good at that. I do know a doctor that I can give you, off the air, or if you wanted to email me at idude92@aol.com, that is really in tune with this. So there's, like I said, not that many. That's not an area of expertise for me, but I'll hook you up.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Maggie, you take care. And if you're listening still, anybody that has a question, you can email me personally at idude92@aol.com. That's EYEDUDE92@aol.com. All right, phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820. We're broadcasting live this morning. It's Tuesday morning, and man, it is cold in Tampa Bay. Here with my very welcome guest and associate, Dr. Cathy Dow. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. It's the eye guy and gal in the morning. 1-866-977-4820. 1-866-977-4820. Also, I'll give you a toll-free number if you'd like to go to any of our locations, set up an appointment at any of the 9 Lange Eye Care locations. I'll give you a toll-free number that goes directly to our operators, and that's 1-888-781-2020. 1-888-781-2020. And we'll see if we can't set you up. Remember, we do take most insurances. We take Medicare, we take Medicaid, we take most vision plans, most health insurances as well. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the Fortify line of vitamins that I actually developed. And I'm going to brag on them just a little bit because there really isn't anything like it on the market currently. You hear infomercials talking about products. They sell relatively high, high price. You got to remember, a lot of these things are marked up 10 times for it to work in their system. And you hear infomercials promoting the power of green tea. All right, and they sell you a green tea supplement. The power of vitamin C, vitamin D. They sell you these supplements individually for a relatively high price. You hear all sorts of infomercials talking about the superfruits these days. Goji berry, acai, pomegranate, mangosteens, blueberries. and they sell you something relatively high in price that has those in it. You also hear things about CoQ10 and omega-3 fish oil, krill oil, all of these things that they're selling separately. And you know, I noticed that years ago, and so my goal was to develop a supplement that has everything all in one. And that's what we did with Fortify Complete Plus, Fortify Complete Macular Defense, and even the new Fortify One-A-Day. We've taken everything and put them in one little hermetically sealed sterile packet, so it makes it convenient for the patient, makes compliance a non-issue, and makes it very affordable. Here's an example. Fortify Complete Plus has all the vitamin C, E, D that you need, the 8 forms of vitamin E with a heavy emphasis on the tocotrienols. I was just looking at tocotrienols. 30 milligrams of tocotrienols at the health food store was $30. We have quite a bit of resveratrol, which is an anti-aging nutrient, also $25 to $30 at the health food store. We have quite a bit of green tea polyphenols, 98% polyphenols. We've got the goji, the mangosteen, the pomegranate, the blueberry, kale, spinach. We've got cinnamon, all in this formula. All the lutein and zeaxanthin you need for your eyes. Then we've got something called a mitochondrial support formula, and it's built into the formula that takes acetyl carnitine, alpha lipoic acid, and CoQ10, truly to support the mitochondria, ATP production, and aid in neuroprotection. So you can see we've got quite a bit in this formula. It is also combined with a triglyceride form omega-3 fish oil. We have no vitamin A and no beta-carotene. If you've heard me preach on this program, you know that I don't like vitamin A or beta-carotene because of the potential complications related to it. Vitamin A ultimately blocks vitamin D absorption, increases your risk of osteoporosis and osteopenia. Vitamin A, in a little bit over the USRDA required amount, actually can increase your risk of osteopenia, osteoporosis, neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, liver problems, macular degeneration, and us being eye care providers, we certainly want to limit the amount of macular degeneration you have in your life or the possibility of you developing it. Birth defects. Vitamin A is needed in third world countries, however. I'm a member of a philanthropic organization called Vitamin Angels. Well, we take vitamin A to these countries where you're only eating rice and bread. They need vitamin A. But in America, we're not vitamin A deficient. So be careful with vitamin A that you get in supplemental form. Also, beta-carotene is something you should say no to in a supplemental form. Beta-carotene actually blocks the absorption of lutein. And we're the lead investigators in a study called the BLAZE study. Beta-carotene, lutein, alpha-carotene, zeaxanthin absorption study, proving that even small amounts of beta-carotene will block the absorption of lutein. Beta-carotene will increase your risk of lung cancer if you're a smoker, and it increases your risk of prostate problems if you're a male. So once again, why would you want beta-carotene in your vitamin formula? So that's what we've created, something that you can take in a little packet with 3 pills that covers all of the bases for $40, $50. So it's not a real high price. Check it out at fortify.com, Fortifeye, fortify.com, or you can call Fortify toll free. I'll have to get their phone number. I don't have it in front of me. Maybe somebody can put it on the call screen. It's 866-503 something. Oh, you know, I get too many phone numbers to memorize. But we'll have that number for you in just a second. Once again, fortify.com. Check out all we have to offer on that website. A lot of healthcare practitioners throughout the country are carrying it. Medical doctors, chiropractors, osteopaths, naturopaths, optometrists, ophthalmologists are carrying it. You cannot purchase it through any of the super warehouse clubs or anything like that. Remember, you do get what you pay for, especially in nutrition. All right, the toll-free number that goes directly to Fortify Vitamins is 866-503-9746. 866-503-9746. All right, phone lines are open. We're going to take some calls now. We had a few people on hold that got tired of waiting through my rambling on about Fortify Vitamins. But if you got a question, 1-866-977-4820. 1-866-977-4820. Now remember, Dr. Cathy Dow was talking about this new i.Scription i.Profiler by Zeiss that we have in the office. And we had a new version of this just put in. We had the first version of it put in about 3 months ago, and it was working pretty well. But this new revised version, we're also the first to have this, is absolutely incredible. Is it accurate? How accurate is it?
It's pretty accurate. It almost takes out the whole decision of the patient. I can almost prescribe just from the machine, but we still like to do it to the traditional way, and then we use all the numbers and calculate the perfect prescription for you.
Right, so it's a double check. You actually can get 2 prescriptions when you come to the Lange Eye Care location in Clearwater. Your traditional prescription that you can get filled at our optical, or you can take it anywhere, and also something called an i.Scription that you can only get filled through our office that is going to be 1/100th of a diopter of accuracy. Folks, that is as accurate as it gets from a prescription for glasses. As a matter of fact, I'm putting my glasses on right now. I've got a new Oakley frame, and I've got the new Zeiss Individual i.Scription lens in this, in a transition material. So it gets dark when I go outside, light when I go indoors. And where I really notice, Cathy, is driving at night, this new i.Scription. You know, at nighttime, even with my prescription in it, I always had a little bit of difficulty at night. Glare was a little bit bothersome to me. Distance vision was a little bit sacrificed. But with these, I see like an eagle at nighttime. So it's well worth a little bit extra expense to incorporate that i.Scription into your lenses. Come on by and see Dr. Cathy Dow at Clearwater, or myself. I won't be in that office until next year in January. But we're located right there on Sunset Plaza, US 19 at Sunset Point, right there in Sunset Plaza. And the phone number for the Clearwater location is 727-791-1214. That's 727-791-1214. Also, I want to mention the Dirty Dozen. We've talked about this quite a bit, and the Dirty Dozen is fruits and vegetables, especially now during the holiday season, that you're going to want to avoid unless they're organically grown. And Cathy, why is that? Why would you not want to touch these unless they're organically grown?
Because they have tons of pesticides and things you do not want in your body.
Right, and pesticides are poison, basically. It kills little bugs, but it adds up in your system and ultimately increases your risk of a whole host of health issues, including cancer. As a matter of fact, celery, non-organically grown celery, they have actually isolated like 50 or 60 different types of pesticides in the stalk of celery. But some of the, all of the nutrients that are in the Dirty Dozen that you want to stay away from, just don't eat them unless they're organically grown. Celery, peaches, strawberries, apples, blueberries, nectarines, bell peppers, spinach, kale, cherries, potatoes, and grapes. Now, Cathy, we talk about this with our macular degeneration patients all the time, because macular degenerative patients, we preach to them to eat more dark green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, and collard greens. We preach to them to eat more blueberries, orange bell peppers, and we really need to start telling them to make sure they're organically grown.
Right.
All right, phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820, 1-866-977-4820. We're broadcasting from the Newstalk 820 WWBA network here in Tampa Bay. If you got a question regarding your vision or eye care, give us a holler, 1-866-977-4820. Maybe you or a loved one has recently been diagnosed with a disease in the eye like macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, cataracts, or some other disease process, and just possibly your doctor hasn't told you everything you want to know about that disease. Well, that's what we're here for, to educate you, the listener, the consumer, the patient, on what options you have, what alternatives you have to treating that disease. Remember, surgery may not be the only option. Now, we'll be the first to admit when surgery is the best option, but we can indeed take many different approaches today at helping combat against free radical damage in the eye and the body. Nutritional supplementation, dietary changes, lifestyle changes, the three of those act synergistically together, very powerful at helping to promote wellness in the eye and the body. If your doctor is not discussing proper nutrition with you, you're missing the boat. I don't care if it's your eye doctor, your chiropractor, your general practitioner, your internist, they really need to be discussing proper nutrition. All right, phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820. Remember to check us out on the web at langeeyecare.com or drmichaellang.com. Always go and learn a little bit more about nutrition or order your vitamins at Fortify.com. That's Fortifeye, Fortify.com. But also, thinking about Christmas, you know, Cathy, I don't know about you, but oftentimes I have difficulty wondering what to get people for Christmas. You know? What about you?
I always have trouble, and you always want to get everyone their perfect gift because they deserve it.
Right. Now let's think about this. What could be a better gift for somebody than a good pair of sunglasses?
That would be a great gift. Everyone needs a good pair in Florida.
Right? We need to block the harmful radiation. We need to block the UV light. We need to block the high-intensity visible spectrum also. So invest in your loved one's vision. Get a good pair of sunglasses. Costa Del Mar, Oakley, Maui Jim, Ocean Waves, or a really nice designer pair like the Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, Prada, anything like that. We've got those available at any of the 8 Lange Eye Care locations in our new Lange Sun and Nutrition Center. So that's a combination of Starbucks, Sunglass Hut, G&C, all under one roof. And that opened like Thursday of last week. We're not really finished. We opened early. I'm going to be there after the show today. If anybody wants to come by and talk to me about nutrition, I'll be there cutting some videos and doing some promotions and some marketing materials and things of that the whole day. So come on by. That's US 19 and Drew Street in Campus Walk Plaza. It says Lange Eye Sun and Nutrition Center. Great sunglasses. We've got the new Eyes of Faith sunglasses. That's a Christian line of sunglasses that just came out. We're the first in Florida to get that line. It has a little hint of Christianity, like some crosses and some stained glass and stuff like that in the frame. Incredible quality frame, great look, and 10% of the sales actually go to some organizations to help the children. So once again, come on by any of the Lange Eye Care locations if you're interested in the Eyes of Faith. A great gift for Christmas, but any type of sunglass would be a great gift as well. Polarized sunglasses if you're out on the water, if you're out on the beach, if you're driving your car. Non-polarized is a little bit better if you're playing golf, tennis, an aggressive motorcyclist, you're riding that bullet bike, you're a racer of some sort, road racing, motocross. You don't want polarized for that. Even mountain bikers, believe it or not, you don't want polarization. Because polarization blocks one whole meridian of light, and it can cause you to have some trouble. If you're going into the first turn at Road Atlanta at 120 miles an hour, downshifting, and there's an oil slick in that turn, you're not going to see it because the polarization blocks the glare coming off the oil slick. By the same token, if you're going down a rugged downhill on your mountain bike and there's some gnarly pits in it and ruts, if it's under the shadows of the trees, the polarization is going to block the view of those ruts. So once again, you got to be very careful. Polarization for certain things, non-polarization for certain things. All right, phone lines are open. 866-977-4820, 866-977-4820. Kathy, we have been really extremely busy since we've been promoting multifocal contact lenses. What do you think about multifocal contact lenses for the 40-plus crowd?
They're one of my favorite things to do, actually. It's surprising because a lot of doctors are scared of them because in the past the designs weren't great and success rate wasn't really that high. But I just really get to know the patient, really know what their needs are, and we come up with the prescription that works for them. The multifocal design lets you have distance and near and a computer zone all in a contact lens. So you don't have to put on your reading glasses, you don't have to wear glasses when you're driving. It's kind of an all-in-one, and as long as I explain to them how they work, a lot of the patients are very happy with them.
And anybody over 40 is probably a pretty good candidate for these?
Right. We can teach you, even if you've never worn contacts in your life, we can teach you when you're 40, 50, even 60.
And also with the new generation materials, especially the Ciba Air Optics multifocal, the new edge designs, they're very comfortable, aren't they?
They are. A lot of patients, they're very surprised at how you can't feel them when they put them on their eyes.
All right, we're going to talk with Dr. Cathy Dow after the break a little bit more about contact lenses, advanced fitting for contacts, dry eyes, and a condition called meibomian gland dysfunction. So stay tuned. We'll be back in about 3.5 more minutes. We'll be right back.
Have a question regarding the latest at eye care? Whether it's surgical, medical, optical, or nutritional, the doctor is in. So call now at 866-977-4820. It's Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange of Lange Eye Care and Associates.
There's Dr. Cathy Dow.
820 newsroom.
And Peter's going to get in there. Go ahead and get in the movie, Peter.
Okay.
There we go.
Hello.
He's one of the executive producers here, and he hosts his own show. Alrighty, good morning, and welcome back to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lange of Lange Eye Care & Associates, the Lange Eye Institute, and Fortify Vitamins. If you've got a question regarding your vision, eye care, or a nutritionally related topic, please don't hesitate picking up the phones and give me a call. Remember, I'm a board-certified optometric physician as well as a certified nutritional specialist. I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993. We're on multiple radio networks throughout the South. We're also live video streaming throughout the world. You can check us out on any of the websites. Just go to Live and Listen, and you can check us out from 9 to 10 anywhere throughout the world, as long as it's Florida time. It's Eastern time, I guess. Fortify.com, drmichaellang.com, langeeyecare.com, expresscontacts.com, newstalk820.com, and there's a variety of other networks that you can pick us up on as well. All right, phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820, 1-866-977-4820. I'm a little bit hoarse. Over the weekend I was doing a lot of talking and a lot of lecturing on stuff to my staff and to a nutritional group as well. And so I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't know if I'm trying to get a virus or it's just a little hoarseness from overworking my voice. But phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820. Here with my very welcome guest, Dr. Cathy Dow. Good morning, Cathy.
Good morning.
All right, so we're ready to take any questions between the two of us. We should be able to handle it, don't you think?
We should.
All right, let's talk about something that everybody has sooner or later in life. I mean, everybody, no matter who you are, is going to experience something called keratoconjunctivitis sicca. Say that 3 times real fast. Basically, it means dry eyes syndrome. People have symptoms: sandy, gritty, burny, teary, itchy eyes. All right, fluctuation in their vision, red, recurring infections. All right, and things compound this problem. Like now, people are putting the heater on, and since it's chilly out there, even in Florida, and it's making the cornea dry out even more. A multitude of medications that patients are taking, that doctors are prescribing, are drying out. The corneal tear film is dehydrating. Also, a variety of diseases cause an acceleration in this dry eye condition. And atmospheric conditions, environmental conditions, working on the computer, driving your car, your blink reflex is diminished, and therefore your eyes dry out even further and further. So what are the things that we can do, Cathy? What are just some simple things that we can do to help these patients with dry eye? Also, I just want to plug this. It's probably one of the most underdiagnosed or wrongly diagnosed conditions out there. Oftentimes, the patient will go to the primary care physician or the doctor next door, or even the urgent care facility. They're prescribed an antibiotic when indeed it was a dry eye problem. Didn't need an antibiotic. So how do we go about treating these conditions?
Right, one of the most common red eyes is actually due to blepharitis, which is an inflammation of the lids, and it's a combination of all this, the dryness, the oil. Your tear composition is made up of oil, water, and mucus, and if you don't have the right consistency and of all of those components, then you're going to have all these symptoms and have these chronic irritated eyes. So what you can do, the easiest thing is just some artificial tears, lid scrubs, washing your eyes real well with either some baby shampoo or one that you can pick up at the store that has a antimicrobial agent in it, like an OcuSoft foam or their pre-prepared lid pads. You can wash your lids with that, get all this debris and all this bacteria off of those lashes. You can also use omega-3 fish oil. Is one of the best things that we always promote because it can help produce a good composition for your tear film, help you with keeping the tears on your eyes when you do produce them. There's a couple components to dry eyes. You can either have the kind where the oils aren't there, so your tears, you make them and they evaporate. You need that oil to keep them on your eyes. And then you can also have the ones where you don't actually produce enough tears. So that's a lot of times that's from those diseases you had mentioned, rheumatoid arthritis, even diabetes, thyroid problems. Sjogren's syndrome is one where your mucus membranes, they don't produce enough of any mucus in your body. and that includes your eyes, your mouth. Those are the most common symptoms. So lots of different things we can do. There are medications that we could use. Restasis is one that a lot of people are seeing commercials for. It's a drop that you use twice a day, and it helps you to produce tears and calm down the inflammation. But that's kind of a long-term thing. We like to start simple first, and then also doxycycline is one that's been used in the past too. But we try to stay away from all those chronic uses of medication.
Absolutely. The least amount of medication that gets the job done. That's our philosophy at all the Lange Eye Care locations. And that's one reason you're on board, since you're also have a degree in nutrition. That really helps out. And we try to approach it as a natural, really a natural approach. And some of the things that you mentioned, lid scrubs, proper lid hygiene is very important. Hot compresses to get the glands working a little bit better, to secrete that outer lipid layer of the tear film. And combining that with the omega-3 fish oil is very effective, because studies have shown that taking a good triglyceride-based omega-3 fish oil, like the Fortify Super Omega that we developed, 2 times a day for early to moderate dry eyes, and up to 4 times a day for more severe cases, does help dry eyes significantly. Helps open up the meibomian glands, helps us secrete a healthier tear film, helps cut inflammation in the body and on the corneal surface, and that fish oil really, really does work.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt or anything, but I will. I started taking that fish oil, you started in January, full-time, so that's when I started taking it regularly. And I've noticed that this year, with the cold and everything, with the heat on, my eyes aren't getting dry, I'm not waking up with crusty eyes. Plus, I have arthritis in my elbow, my right elbow, and I haven't had any, I've had some pain, but not like that cold weather cramping pain or anything. So
right. My
joints are feeling better, and my eyes aren't drying out like they did.
Fantastic. And the only thing you've really done differently is you started taking the Fortify Super Omega, right, Peter?
Super Omega. Well, plus I take the Fortify Complete. But that's all I've done differently. I still like to go out and not eat healthy.
Good. And that really talks about the power of proper nutrition. Peter has living proof, and we've got testimonials from thousands of patients all over the world that take the Fortify products. The Fortify Complete Plus, which is an antioxidant with fish oil, or the Fortify Super Omega, which is really one of the most concentrated, purest fish oils on the market that you can take. And let's talk about that briefly, because a lot of people don't realize there's a large class action suit out there right now that is going after some of the fish oil manufacturers, claiming that they had higher than acceptable levels of PCB, which is a contaminant in the ocean. And you really don't need to be putting that in your system. But also, a lot of that fish oil is the ethyl ester molecule. It has ethanol attached to the backbone, and they put the ethanol in the distillation process to concentrate and purify that product. But then they leave one step out, one last step in the purification process that most fish oil companies do not do because of the expense, is they leave the ethanol in the product. And that's why when you squeeze a fish oil tablet into a styrofoam cup, it eats a hole right through that styrofoam cup because of the ethanol content that's in there. Now, a lot of people will say that's not that much ethanol, but let me tell you, since it's an ethyl ester molecule, it makes it go rancid very quickly. It oxidizes. It's a very unstable molecule. That's why the majority of fish oil, you open up the bottle, you smell it, and it smells rancid and really fishy and tastes very bad. That's why you burp up a nasty fish taste, because of this ethyl ester molecule. If you get a triglyceride form molecule, that's one last step in the purification process, where they cleave off the ethanol and replace a triglyceride backbone the way fish naturally have it in the sea. This does a few things. It increases the absorption significantly. It also decreases that nasty burp back taste, and it causes not to oxidize, so it's very stable and it doesn't oxidize. So triglyceride form fish oil is just much more potent and pure, and that's what we highly recommend. So check ours out, Fortify Super Omega. The other thing about the Fortify Super Omega is, as Cathy knows, you're in our blood test study, and many of our doctors are in a study. We're doing a blood test where we're analyzing the omega-3 content and omega-6 content. We're looking at stereodonic acid, arachidonic acid, which is inflammation in the blood. We're looking at alpha-linolenic acid, linoleic acid, EPA, DHA, DPA. We're looking at the whole variety of omega-3 and omega-6s, proving to the world that most of the Americans are omega-3 deficient and omega-6 overly sufficient. And what happens when you take 2 of the Fortify Super Omegas a day, it actually takes the omega index over 8%, which reduces your chance of a fatal heart attack by 90%. Now, we've tested krill oil, we've tested over-the-counter fish oil, flaxseed oil, and we're not getting that move in the omega index at all. Now, Cathy is very in tune with health, in really good condition, eats fish quite a bit, but let's talk about your first blood test and then your second blood test after taking Fortify Super Omega.
I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it. I was very disappointed. Like you said, I eat fish probably 3 or 4 times a week. We eat a lot of mackerel because it's very easy to catch out here in Tampa Bay. And my number was, I think, about 5. And that was from not taking any fish oil for about probably 4 or 5 months. I stopped. I ran out and I never bought any more. And then we started working with Dr. Lange and tried out his. Became part of the study. In 2 weeks, my number went up to around 7 or 8, and then in a month, it almost doubled from the very beginning. It's almost 11 now.
That's an incredible jump in the omega-3 index. And you're going to see more and more studies discussing omega-3 index and the percent of omega uptake in the blood in relation to omega-6 to actually back different types of omega-3s. And I ask people, you know, ask the science department, the fish oil, the krill oil, or whatever you're wanting to take, what it does to the omega index and the omega percent, even the HOFA score, which is something else. It's a whole another talk show. So basically, we like the science. I mean, when I develop a product, we want to have science behind it. Proof is in the pudding. We want to make sure it is really helping our patients. Omega-3 is very important. You know, it has all sorts of health benefits. It has actually been shown to actually slow down chromosomal aging. The end cap of the chromosome, called the telomere, shrinks as we age. Well, taking a good omega-3 fish oil can slow that down. So we're slowing down chromosomal aging. Something else that slows it down is drinking green tea. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors. We'll take some phone calls now. 1-866-977-4820. Almost forgot that. I host too many shows. I have too many numbers to remember. 1-866-977-4820. Give us a call. 1-866-977-4820. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. We're broadcasting today from Newstalk 820. That's WWBA. Out of Tampa Bay, and we simulcast on a variety of networks. Oftentimes we're on 97.3 FM, that's the Sky in Gainesville, WOCA out of Ocala, WRZN Sunny 720 out of Hernando, so we simulcast on a variety of different radio shows. All right, the other thing about the omega-3 that I want to mention, because we've got a lot of listeners that are elderly that can't swallow big capsules, okay, and that's a problem. And so they start taking other options for omega-3. Well, we made it so it's chewable. You can actually chew the gel cap, and it tastes very good. I mean, it tastes kind of a lemon flavor. It doesn't taste bad at all, does it, Cathy?
No, it doesn't. And like you said, you don't have that fish burp. I mean, I can take it pretty much on an empty stomach. Before the pills, the fish oil that I bought at the store, I could not take it on an empty stomach. I would almost feel nauseous. I would get clammy after I took the multivitamin and the fish oil, and I can do that without having a big lunch and dinner now, and it's great.
Absolutely. So remember, Fortify Super Omega is available through any of the Lange Eye Care locations. Many healthcare providers and eye care providers throughout the world are carrying it. You can call toll-free to Fortify Vitamins, 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. Also, beware. There's a lot of companies out there pushing omega-3 from other sources. Find out how much omega-3 is actually in it. We have 1,600 milligrams of omega-3 in 2 pills. So 800 in 1 pill. Remember, EPA and DHA is very, very important. We have almost 900 EPA dosage, 600 DHA. All right, those are the dosages that we've studied that we have found work the best from a therapeutic standpoint and from a prevention standpoint. There's a lot of companies out there touting other sources of omega-3 that have 60 milligrams of omega-3, or 100, 200, 300. Some of them up to 400 or 500. Remember, we have 1,600 of omega-3. Omega-3 is omega-3. One of the world's renowned PhDs in lipid technologies. Doug Bilbus and I had a talk not too long ago about that, and we thought it was somewhat whimsical about some of these other sources of omega-3 all touting they have the best source, especially krill. We were kind of laughing at that because we have tested a lot of the krill products out there, and it essentially does not move the omega-3, the Huffa score, or the omega index, the ones that we've tested. Now, I would like to test other ones, so I'm open. You can send us some of your products. We will test them with some of the most advanced technology from blood testing and see what kind of omega-3 absorption rates you have. Remember, also, most of the good studies out there promoting wellness from omega-3 is based on fish oil or consuming more cold water fish. There's minimal studies promoting other things. Remember, flaxseed oil I don't think is a good source of omega-3 at all. It's alpha-linoleic acid. You got to go through 2 enzymatic conversions for it to convert to EPA and maybe a little bit of DHA, which is very rare. And unless you're a woman of childbearing age, it just ain't going to happen. Most of our patients, flaxseed oil is useless. Also, flaxseed oil may increase men's risk of prostate problems. All right, phone lines are open. You know, I think everybody is just too cold to call today. Usually we're inundated with 8, 9 calls by now. 1-866-977-4820. Maybe they think I'm a different host because my voice is so hoarse, but it's Dr. Lange. 1-866-977-4820.
You know, talking about omega-3 sources, we had mentioned it the other day with all these commercials for Christmas. One of the things that always pops up is the chia pet. And so I had mentioned to you the other day we were going to talk about chia seeds as a good source, surprisingly, and I bet a lot of people don't know that.
Eat your chia pet is what you're saying, right?
It's a good holiday gift, and they'll get some omega-3 out of it.
Right. Chia it has a very good source of alpha-linoleic acid that doesn't go rancid and much more stable than flaxseed oil. Also, something called perilla oil is also a very good source for a vegetable source of omega-3. I think the best source, ultimately, for a vegetarian is algae. Right? There's certain types of algae that are very high in DHA especially. And we do have a product at the Lange Eye Care locations. You can also get it through Fortify Vitamins called Nano Omega. Nano Omega is a powder. It actually tastes very good, almost like an orange juice. You mix up in water and drink it down, and it gives you quite a bit of omega-3 from a vegetable source that's much more bioavailable than, say, flaxseed oil. So Nano Omega for all of you vegetarians out there, or if you just want something different, check it out. Come by the Lange Nutrition Center right there in Clearwater. We've got all of the nano products, which is interesting. It's made by Biopharma. Nano Pro is something that I preach when I lecture to people on anti-aging and on health all the time. There's one thing that's very difficult to get rid of as you get older, a nutritional deficiency called glutathione. All of our Fortify vitamins are very good at getting rid of almost all nutritional deficiencies, even helping with glutathione because of the N-acetylcysteine that's in there. But still, some people have deficiencies in glutathione. One of the best ways to get rid of the glutathione deficiency is to take a good undenatured whey protein. And you want to take it from a good source. You want the cows to be organically raised, fed no pesticides on the grass or hormones or antibiotics. And these cows are raised in New Zealand that Nano Pro comes from. It gets the first milking, which has all the immunoglobulins and things in it. It's a very potent, undenatured whey protein. Gives you not only protein that a lot of us are lacking, but helps stimulate glutathione. It's called Nano Pro. They make Nano Greens, which is 10 servings of organically grown fruits and vegetables, and then Nano Reds, which is erring more on the side of the fruits, the Nano Omega, and then something relatively new called Nano Meal, and this is a meal replacement that's delicious, and it's a powder that's a combination of the Nano Omega, the Nano Greens, and the Nano Pro. All you shake it up in a cup and drink it down. In 1 minute, you're done. It will help you lose weight, and it gives you all the nutrients that you need. So those are for individuals out there that can't take pills and they need something in the powdered format. I don't recommend liquids because the liquid vitamins go rancid very, very quickly. All right, phone lines are open. 1-866-977-4820. 1-866-977-4820. Let's talk about something, a condition we don't see as frequently, but especially in contact lens wearers that are uncompliant, called giant papillary conjunctivitis.
Right, it sounds scary, just the name. It's just short for APC, and what it is an irritation underneath the eyelid, that conjunctival, that clear tissue underneath your lids, gets irritated and inflamed, and a lot of times it's after contact lens wear for a very long time. You can develop it after wearing contacts for years, and then you can, a lot of times you don't, but a lot of times it gets misdiagnosed as an allergic reaction or allergies or, you know, there's dryness, everything. It's all the same symptoms, that burning, gritty, irritated eyes all the time. And what I do is when I see that and, you know, it's constant contact lens wear, I like to flip the lid when you come in. And during the examination, I'll flip that superior lid over, and you'll see these inflammatory bumps, and that right away gives away what's irritating the eye. A lot of times what we have to do is you have to stop wearing the contact lenses until it's all resolved. We can use a couple drops to calm it down right away. And then I like switching all of the patients over to either daily wear contacts or a clear care solution, a hydrogen peroxide cleaning solution, because a lot of times what happens is these contact lenses, they build up these deposits and your eyes get sensitive to it, and it does become like an allergic reaction, and you start getting these bumps on your eyes and just constant rubbing on your lids. It just really irritates your eyes. So definitely come in if you have these symptoms so I can take a look and get your problems resolved.
And you're great at changing people into a one-day disposable lens, and this can help minimize the problem dramatically, can it?
Right. That's normally the first step. You know, the daily wears are just best for everybody, but especially the patients with allergies, with this giant papillary conjunctivitis, these chronic inflamed lids, because these irritants on these lids, on these contacts that you wear. I mean, a lot of patients, you can wear them for a month and not have any irritation, but the ones that are sensitive to it, it's this buildup on these contacts. So the one-a-day contact lenses are the best option. You wear them for a day, you take them out, you throw them away, and then the next morning you open up a brand new contact lens to wear.
You know, this is another reason, believe it or not, to take omega-3 fish oil, to take a good triglyceride form omega-3 fish oil, because of the natural anti-inflammatory properties. Remember, giant papillary conjunctivitis is an inflammation under the eyelid. So the omega-3 will help that subside, but also it stimulates a healthier tear film, making contact lens wear a little bit easier for prolonged periods of time. Anybody that's an extended wear contact lens, sleeping in their contact lenses, I really try to educate them on omega-3, proper lid hygiene, so that they don't have a compromised tear film. All right, remember, if you've got a question, you can always go to any of the websites, langeeyecare.com, drmichaellang.com. There's a section Ask the Doctor on both of those. You can learn a little bit more about our practice philosophy, see some pictures of our doctors, read up on our biographies of all of our doctors at langeeyecare.com, also on drmichaellang.com. I do want to mention, since it's really cold out there, you know, it's a good idea, go by, get a good cup of coffee or a good cup of warm green tea. A plug for the Lange Nutrition Center that is open now. That's the Lange Sun and Nutrition Center right there in Clearwater, US 19 in Drew Street. I'll be there almost the whole day after the show. Come on by. Ryan is doing really well, making cappuccinos, espressos, coffee, all organically grown coffee beans and leaves. A green tea, also certified organic, coming from some of the best regions in China. We've got the Dragon Well Long Jing tea, Mao Jing tea. This dragon tea is actually what the president drinks, the emperor, all the bigwigs drink in tea. It's supposedly the best tea out there. It's delicious, relatively low in caffeine. And the interesting thing about these teas that we handle, they come straight from a plantation that is owned by some friends of ours, and they hand-pick these leaves. And then, to minimize the processing of these leaves, they actually only gently steam them. And so it gives them a very low amount of caffeine, believe it or not, and improves the polyphenol content, the antioxidant content. You can't buy this just about anywhere. You can get it through the Lange Eye Care location, or the Lange Sun and Nutrition Center on Drew Street, and also Ming Ming Tea in St. Pete. Ming Ming Tea in St. Pete has it. Great tea. Come on by. We can even make you a goji tea. No caffeine, super potent antioxidant, and we do have the Tibetan or the Tibetan goji berries available now that are also USDA organic. All right, Cathy, thanks for being a guest on Ask the Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
Maybe we'll do it again tomorrow.
Sounds good.
We're out of here. Have a great day. See you tomorrow, and God bless you.
You've been listening to Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lang of Lang Eye Care and Associates. And don't forget, if you have a question, go to newstalk820.com and click on Ask the Doctor. And be sure to join us tomorrow morning at 9 for Ask the Doctor.